and he was roaring and screaming at her, calling her a slut and a whore and everything. And even though that's one of the reasons why she left him, because he was a violent drunk. So anyway, he walked up as far as the car. He grabbed a builder's block up off the ground, and he held it over her head. And she said, "Please stop! Please don't do this! Don't do it! Please! It's this is supposed to be a happy time. There's a party going on." So he threw the brick over the wall, and her boyfriend saw this in the car, and he was shocked. But when he saw the brick being thrown over the wall, he didn't do anything. He just stayed where he was. So she got into the car, and the accused guy was the driver. There was children in the back of the car, and as soon as she closed her door, in anger, okay, her husband, drunk as he was that day, he broke the back passenger window with his own fist, went straight through the window. The glass flew all over everyone inside the car, all over the children. The children were freaked out. So then the accused fella jumped out. Now I called him the accused fella because you'll hear in a minute what happened. He got out and he approached your one's husband and said, "Will you please stop this? Why are you doing this? You already broke my windshield. Why are you doing this? Look at the children." And then he looked in and he said to his girlfriend, "Are the children okay?" Because they were covered in glass and they were screaming. So next thing, the guy, not the accused fella, the other fella, your one's husband, ran at the accused fella and gave him a full force punch into the jaw. So there was blood everywhere, like. And next thing, there was a struggle. Um, he was pulling the accused fella around the road and beating him, and they were screaming and roaring at each other. Now I don't think I mentioned this. He on eBay, the accused fella, he had bought a knife to protect himself with because he didn't know how many people would attack him. He didn't know who they were, or where they were, or how many could attack him because he was threatened so badly before. Like now, it's been proven that it was your one's husband that got those guys after him. So he was trying to protect himself. Now that was his mistake, getting a knife, but he didn't know what to do. So during the struggle, the other guy got him around by the back of the neck, and he was in a headlock. Now, two other guys ran out of the house, ran towards this. So the accused, who was in the headlock, thought he was going to get attacked and killed even, because the other fella had him in a very tight headlock. So he went into his pocket, he got the knife, and he went back like that to try to cut the other guy. He didn't mean to do what he did, but he just wanted to hurt him, yeah, but he didn't want to kill him because that's what he did. He went backwards 3 times, stabbed him 3 times. He didn't feel the knife going in. The accused guy didn't feel the knife going in, and the guy that got murdered, he didn't even realize that he was after getting stabbed. The blood started to come out all over the place. They couldn't wait for an ambulance, so they drove him over to the hospital, and he died there a short time later. The cuts were so deep that nothing could be done for him. He bled to death. Now, I was the foreman of the jury of that trial, so I was the head honcho when it came to the jury. Imagine that, me, like, what I was. And we were the court case lasted 4 days, but I had to lay low after the case, and during the case as well. I wasn't allowed to have contact with anyone of because of the news that some of the details of the jury had been leaked out of the courtroom from the day we were sworn in, and which should not have happened. So basically, now all of the rest of the jury let me do all the dirty work, let me do all the talking. And the foreman is supposed to do all of the talking, really, I know. But half of them weren't listening, and I had to ask the judge to repeat himself. And one of the people that was, she lost her uncle, so she was released. So there was only 11 out of 12 jury. But it was a it was a traumatic experience for everyone that was in that courtroom. I was under so much stress as well because I wasn't able to. I mean, there was so much detail, lads. I'd be about probably about a few hours, I'd say, explaining all of it to you. So it was just going on and on and on, and eventually, as soon as the accused fella was brought up to the stand, as soon as the judge heard what he had to say, he closed the whole thing, and he closed all of the witnesses and everything. Oh, excuse me. Tired. He excused us then to begin our deliberations. So he was found not guilty of murder, but guilty of manslaughter in self-defense. He didn't go out intentionally to murder anyone. His mistake was buying a knife, and his mistake was putting the knife into the man, because if he didn't put the knife into him, he would have got off scot-free. But he put the knife into the man. Someone has to pay for that. I was stopped outside the court after the whole thing was done by a detective, and the detective was asking if there was any pressure put on any of the jury, because 10 out of 11 people had the verdict of not murder but manslaughter and self-defense, and one person said completely innocent, and he was asking me, the foreman, why that was. I just said we're all entitled to our own opinion. The other fellow was he was a bit of a thick fucker now, like his. But if you put a knife in someone, it's a crime. So that's what was going on, and the case lasted 4 days, lads. My head was wrecked after it. But before I go, I am now excused from doing jury duty forever. The judge said I did such a great job, and he said also that it's very unusual for a person of my age to be picked as a foreman. He said it was always old people, older people. Oh my god, I was over shopping in the supermarket earlier on, and I saw one of the people that was involved in the case, one of the witnesses, and he looked at me, I looked at him, we knew who we were, but I had to get out of there quick. Anywho, I'm going to make another video now shortly. Okay? Talk to you soon. Love you guys. Welcome back, me.